Hi, Chris Hobson here. Thank you so much for investing a bit of your time to learn how you can protect your money when preparing for a potential divorce. First off, I know you likely have so many questions. Your mind is racing a mile a minute about what this is about to cost you. I understand that you're scared, and that's okay. The most important step in any divorce is to prepare. Just like you have taken the time to prepare for your own success in life, you know what I mean. So many people miss this critical step and get blindsided when their spouse files for divorce. And here you're doing the right thing by educating yourself and preparing for your future. So, let go of any shame or guilt you may have for researching this or even feeling this way. We all put on our seatbelts when we get into a car, but what we're not hoping for is that we get into an accident. We are simply protecting our future selves, and that's exactly what you're doing right now. Now, I told you when you requested this video that we would explain the top 5 things you can do right now to protect your money in the event of a divorce. Everyone hears about how their buddy got screwed in a divorce. You may have been at the golf course or the gym, and you hear your buddy confide in you how he's getting totally annihilated by his wife's attorney. Hearing his terrifying account, you may be tempted to stay in your own nightmare of a marriage. Or you lose the courage to take the steps you need to get out of your own misery. But the fact is, sometimes that train's a-coming. And you can either prepare, or you can pretend like it's not coming and get steamrolled like so many other men out there. Now let's get to it. I will explain to you what you have to do right now to protect your money in the event of a divorce. Number 1, you're going to need to prepare a budget for 2 homes. Look, this is the biggest sucker punch in any divorce. Your family budget right now is likely set to cover 1 home based on the family income. Once divorced, that same family income will need to cover 2 households. What does that mean? Yes, it means your family income will need to cover 2 mortgages, 2 power bills, 2 cable bills, 2 water bills, 2 gas bills. You get the point. Now that you understand why it's so important to start preparing now for what your financial situation will look like very soon. But here's something you can do now to prepare. You need to speak with a local real estate agent right away to learn how much equity you have in your home. For most marriages, the home is the largest liquid asset. In many situations, you will be able to use the cash to offset some of these expenses and ease the financial burden in the first year or 2 after the divorce. Another thing to consider is your wife's ability to earn. Now, some of you may have a stay-at-home wife, but don't be despaired. If your wife isn't currently working, the court will look at her ability to earn an income. The court understands that it's important that she put herself in a position to support herself after the divorce. We can work with your financial advisors as well to determine a best game plan so that you aren't carrying the weight of the finances completely on your own. The next thing we need to look at is your retirement. We often advise clients to stop putting money in their retirement. I know that sounds crazy, and it may not work for you, but you're going to need access to cash to be able to cover the additional expenses we've outlined in the previous segment. Please remember, any amount you put in your retirement account moving forward will be subject to equitable division when divorced. That means she's going to get half. If you're forced to access funds within your retirement account, there are serious tax implications and potential early withdrawal penalties. Finally, you need to make sure you have privacy with your financial advisor so your wife won't create a conflict of interest. Call your financial advisor now and confirm that there is confidentiality between the 2 of you. If not, you need to find another financial advisor, and we can help you with that if you require. Number 3, your wife needs to get a job. If your wife is currently employed and earning at her max capacity, this segment's not for you. Now, for the other 99% of you, pay attention. Encourage her to get full-time employment and start earning at a higher capacity. Another important tip, start gathering evidence of her earning capacity now. Has she turned down job opportunities over the years, even though the kids are already in school? Once the divorce is started, her attorney will encourage her to hide her actual earning capacity. Gather the evidence now while you can. Things to consider. Did she graduate high school? Did she get a college degree? Was she fully employed before having children? This makes sense, right guys? Start putting together a timeline of her employment history so you can show what she's capable of earning once the divorce ends, so you're not stuck footing her bills as well as yours. Number 4 is the issue of alimony. Let's confront this head on. A lot of men out there suspect that their wives are cheating on them, but they stay in the marriage because it's cheaper to keep her. Don't be that guy. I have good news for you. In the state of Georgia, if she's cheating, she may be barred from receiving alimony. If this is your suspicion or reality, we will work together with you to prove that her affair was the cause of the divorce. And for the love of all that's holy, do not spy on her. Don't set up a video recorder. Don't put in tracking devices on her vehicle. It's illegal for you to do that. You could go to prison. However, there are things attorneys can legally do and professionals we can hire to get the evidence on your behalf. Let the professionals handle this so you don't end up in jail. Cheating aside, we find that our clients' quality of life dramatically improves once they get out of their miserable marriage. They perform better at work because they aren't getting brutalized at home. Happy men make more money. Don't let the fear factor of a potential alimony case keep you away from living a happy life. You're not the kind of guy that's going to tolerate this awful existence for the rest of your life just to save a buck, right? You just want to know the amount and you can deal with it and move on. I believe you have the ability to overcome this small obstacle. One thing you can do right now is get her on a budget before she files for divorce. The court will look at factors like need and ability to pay. That's some legal jargon we don't need to get into right now. But basically, if you can get her spending under control now, that will minimize what she can later claim that she needs. Number 5, we want to address the issue of child support. Obviously, you want to make sure your children are taken care of. You don't want to punish your kids because the marriage is broken down. There is a highly complex algorithm that the state of Georgia uses to calculate child support. To keep it simple, some of the factors are income of the parties, the number of children, who pays the health insurance, do the children need work-related child care? Time with the children can also have a huge impact on the final amount of child support. The more you have the children, the less you will likely have to pay child support. So start looking at the calendar. Can you get your job to adjust your hours so you can take care of the kids, take them to sports, take them to practice? If you own your own business, adjust your schedule now so you can show the court you're capable of caring for the children day in and day out. And we get it. Not everyone has the luxury to complete this step, but do what you can now. That's the most important thing. Judges know people put on a show after the divorce has been filed. If you can sort this out now, you're going to be in a much better position. So we just dumped a lot of information in your lap, and you're probably thinking, what do I do from here? Honestly, that simply depends on where you're at emotionally and psychologically right now. So let's go through a range of options. Are you looking to just get your ducks in a row? Well, click here for a sample domestic relations financial affidavit. This is a very helpful tool so you can rest easy knowing exactly where your family budget is currently going, and you can visually see where you can cut back. We have also thrown in a checklist of documents and items you need to locate, or at least know where they are if that train's a-coming. Often, wives hide important documents before she files for divorce, and it will cost you more money to get an attorney to locate those records. We're just trying to save you some money. Perhaps you're not ready to talk to an attorney, but you need to speak to someone. That's fine. We have a staff member who is specifically trained to help people flush out different options to move forward without boring you with the legal jargon. We have someone on staff that you can have a confidential conversation. You can hash through what's going on in your marriage. What have you tried already? Have you tried to repair it? What are your options outside of the legal realm? Sometimes you just need to talk out loud to figure out what you may already know deep down. Again, this conversation is completely confidential. Click below to schedule an appointment with our specifically trained staff member who can take you through this journey.